Shabbat Shalom. Well, it keeps going. Each week we're not together, but it's getting closer and closer to the time where I know we'll be able to be together as a congregational family. As we join together in this video service, I want you to please join me taking a deep breath in and exhaling out. And hopefully you've gone pishin already so we can enjoy the next hour or so together. We begin with Ma Yafeh Hayom on page 128. Continue with L'cha Dodi on pages 138 and 139.
Lecha dodi likrat
continue the lighting of our Shabbat candles on pages 120 and 121. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel
And you know our tradition. As we welcome Shabbat, I invite you to welcome, if anyone's with you, wish them a Shabbat Shalom. Even if you have a four-legged member of your family with you right now, wish them a Shabbat Shalom. We continue with Baruch Hu. Please rise if you are able, but you're at home, you could do whatever you want. As we continue with Baruch Hu. Page 146. Continue on page 149. Please join me if you're able. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, for whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim. Page 150.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael. Torah u'mitzvot
invite you to join us in taking a deep breath in and exhaling out as we continue with Shema on pages 152 and 153.
Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know
Continue on page 154 with Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anuchi mitzavecha Hayom alevavecha, vishinantam levanecha, vidibarta bam, bishivtecha, bevetecha, uvlechtecha vaderech, uvshochbecha, uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot beinenecha. Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kiroshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot lachem le'Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God.
We continue responsively on page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there's one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. We continue with Michamoch on page 158. Page 161, let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, ha-poresh sukat shalom aleinu, v'kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. We continue on page 162 with Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We continue now the central portion of our worship with our T'filah on pages 164, 166, and 168. Please rise if you are able.
Adonai, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot, V'imahot, U'mevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah. Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Ata Rav Lehoshia, Ma'ashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Ve'Rofei Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, U'Mido Melach, Melech Meimit U'Mechayeh, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Ata L'Hachayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol. Ata Kadosh v'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kadoshim b'chol yom Yehalelucha Selah, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Page 171. Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for the holiness and exclaim in wonders, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God, Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Page 175. We join together. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, and our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch Atah Adonai, she'odcha levadcha bi'irah na'avod. We continue on page 178 with Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech
invite you to join me in taking a deep breath in and exhaling out. And as we breathe in now, I invite you to feel that sense of connection that we must feel even during these difficult times. And exhale out all that fear that you're feeling right now. Another deep breath in as you breathe in that sense of Shabbat peace. And exhale out Mishagas. As we pause now in silent reflection. One of my favorite Shabbatot is, in fact, this week's Shabbat, the Shabbat of Pesach, when we, in the middle of our Pesach celebration, have the opportunity to celebrate our Sabbath, to take a little bit of respite from being in that storyline of our exodus from Egypt. But I also think it's a time for us to contemplate the time we are right now, not just in our Torah cycle, not just in our world, but where each of us are right now individually. Pesach is really about becoming Yisrael after feeling a sense of Mitzrayim. Let me explain. Mitzrayim is Hebrew for Egypt, but it actually means narrowness or constriction. Yisrael, which we are part of, means, if you will, to wrestle or to struggle with what God is. This time of the year, this particular portion of Pesach reminds us that each of us have within us a sense of constriction, a sense of narrowness. What is that for you right now? What is holding you back from feeling that sense of freedom, feeling that sense of joy? Well, for many of us, I think it's being constricted to our homes, maybe, that's hurting. But I don't think that's it. I think it's more than that. What's forcing us right now to be at home is something we can't control. But we can control how we respond to it. We can look at this as an opportunity to reflect on that which is Mitzrayim, that which we are constricted internally about, and then taking a deep breath, contemplating and thinking of ways that we can break out of our constriction. How is it that we can be Yisrael, be the best person we can be, even in our current situation? We can do that. We can do that by opening up that constriction even for someone else, that narrowness for another. So reach out to someone. This is a time where a lot of people have depression and sadness because their normal means of getting out those feelings are constricted. They're not able to, like so many of us. This is the time for us to reach out. We may not be crossing the sea of reeds yet with our time at home, but we definitely have the opportunity to be there for each other. So I invite you to reach out to another, to reach out to someone who you know is having a hard time psychologically right now, and help them through this very narrow time. And remind them that we are all looking over at that promised land, which is not that far off. May we be inspired by this parasha to feel that sense of Yisrael, to feel that sense of freedom, and all the gifts that accompany our freedom, even in the midst of our own constriction. Shabbat Shalom. We continue with Elena on page 586. Please rise if you're able.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula le'otzeh breshit, shehu notei shamayim ve'oser haaretz, u'moshev yikaro b'shamayim mima'al, u'shchinatu zo begofei meromim, u'Eloheinu ein od, va'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
ונאמר והיה אדוני
למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We now focus our energies toward those who are ill and in need of healing. On this Shabbat, we think of Jason Adams, Rana Askin, Adam Barish, Chana Bat Miriam, Eliana Bat Chana, Tony Berliner, Dr. Arnold Berliner, Robert Berg, Barbara Berlant, Sarah Beinstock, Sandy Beinstock, Rich Burns, Esther Burton, Simone Cardinier, Val Kosman, Hadley Crane, Rebecca Lindecker, Celeste Donley, Elise Epstein, Peter Fathom, Jason Fishoff, Carolyn Franklin, Sandy Friedman, Jennifer Guerrera, Courtney Hansen, Seth Harris, Lee Henderson, Celeste Hutchinson, Barbara Jackowitz, Evelyn Katz-McCosker, Jerry Kane, Lori Cohen, and family, Patrice Lacey, Leah Tzvia Batliba Ve'elchanan, Janice Lucero, Young Sung Lot, Father Bill Leninger, Shirley Lerner, Gary Levine, Penny Levine, Austin Lucero, Patrick McCluskey, Eva Misley, Henry Malconey, Peggy Monroe, Melanie Pearson, Judy Pell, Carol Ross, Marilyn Rudy, Matthew Rudy, Jenny Rudy, Richard Rusnak, Dolores Sams Hoy, Laura Sanders, Marilyn Silver, Sybil Summer, Donna Thyman, Pham Thai Trang, Martha Walker, Teresa Walsh, Claire Cecil Watson, Jeannie Watson, Nancy Weisenfeld, Dana Williams, Karen Williams, Sue Witten, Sherman Wong. As we now continue praying for their better health as we join together in Misha Berach. We now come to the moment in our service we think about members of our family and our community who have died recently and in years past. We especially think of those that are grieving the Shiva, the first week of mourning for Curtis Lee Robinson, brother of Gordon Robinson. We also think of Raymond Berman, dear friend of Estelle Cadis, Richard Pascoe, friend of David Letwitz, and longtime member of our congregation, Marian Bergoffen. We also think of those that are grieving the Shloshim, the 30-day period of mourning for Beverly Furman, Bert Epstein, Nancy Pfister. We also think of those that are grieving the Shana, the first year of mourning, for Rabbi Samuel Brody, Carrie Broding, Laura Bruckheimer, Alexander Brustein, Stephen Ronnie Bush, Dr. Bernard Cohen, Vivian David, Jean Donnelly, Michael Dubrow, Marie Edwards, Mark Emanuel, Glenn Farber, Jackie Fazio, Marvin Fox, Melvin Grant, Lorna Hoffman, Joan Hammer, Susan Hammer, Erwin Jacobson, Dolores Jaffe, Seema Jaffe, Lori Kaplan, Brana Reuven Kate, Howard Kaufman, Vera Kessler, Rabbi Peter Noble, Lori LeMay, Martin Levine, Ray Levine, Judy Siegler-Lieberson, John Myers, Irene Neal, Edith Rosenberg, Barbara Rudnecki, Marion Pattinson, Victor Ratner, Fred Retchen, David Reisner, Leo Rinsler, Ron Roth, Karina Salzman, Lorraine Samuel, Jane Schwartz, Arthur Silver, Sophie Siemens, Alice Sklar, Sandra Sokolek, Bruce Summer, Bernard Spillman, Joan Rasnack-Weinberg, Jill Wernick. We also think of the following yahrzeits that we observe on this Shabbat, as we think of Geraldine Citron Berman, Samuel Blickman, Isidore Breslauer, Henya Berman, Joseph Burns, Sylvia Zins, Jules Edelman, Leonard Fisher, Margaret Gaggle, Maurice Goldberg, Mike Goldberg, Herman Goldstein, Nancy Hirsch, Hannah Hoffman, Arnold Lasky, Melvin Lasky, Emmy Lou Levin, Sylvia Levine, Irving S. Levy, Marcia Lilly, Mike Lupin, Susie McRoberts, Mildred Mizrahi, Norman Newman, Simon Panikoff, Adolph Peters, Ida Peters, Sidney Pollock, Alan Richards, Coleman Lewis Rosen, Minnie Rudin, Maurice Schutt, Abe Siegel, Esther F. Shapiro, Marjorie Scherer, I. Stanley Silverman, Clara Singer, Marjorie Solomon, Kristen Summer, Philip Wiener. Zichronam livracha, may the memories of all of our loved ones endure as a blessing.
Continue on page 598 with Kaddish Yatom, our mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal ve'yitkadash shmei Rabba, ve'amad divrach chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei techol Beit Yisrael, ba'agalav uzman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam olmei almaya, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה ברכו לעילם מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה משמיה וחיים עלינו וכל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו וכל ישראל כולם ואמרו Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who are grieved among us, or wherever they may be, as we say together, Amen.
שים שים ושלום, שים שלום טובה וברכה.
conclude with a song for peace, Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom bimroma, Hu yaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We join together in Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron lemase v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, im kol hamim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh HaShabbat l'chaim. And we join together in Motzi, and of course, since it's the Shabbat during Pesach, we have our Matzah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'tei avon, Shabbat Shalom.